There are moments in a man's life that do not arrive with noise. They do not warn. They do not ask for permission. They simply happen. And when they pass, they never return in the same way. This is one of those moments. You may not realize it now, but there is something different about the fact that you are hearing these words exactly today. Not tomorrow. Not in another video. Not at another point in your history. Now. Before we proceed, subscribe to the channel to master your mindset every day. And leave your like if you commit to stepping out of autopilot today. Because life does not call twice when it decides to reveal a principle. It whispers only once. And tests who is attentive enough to listen. Look closely. It wasn't chance that brought you here. Chance has no intelligence. Chance does not organize encounters. Chance does not work in silence for years to align thoughts, frustrations, and repressed desires until, at a specific point in time, everything converges. What you call coincidence is, in truth, an order you haven't yet understood. You feel it, even if you can't explain it. A constant restlessness. Ideas that return when you try to ignore them. A dissatisfaction that isn't sadness, but isn't peace either. A strange feeling that something is about to align, while at the same time, everything feels like chaos. Know this. Confusion is not a sign of error. It is a sign of transition. Before the mind becomes clear, it must be confronted. Before purpose reveals itself, a man must grow tired of living without it. If you are ready to activate that purpose for 2026, click the link I left in the first comment below to access the 1-minute prayer. Most people run from this point. Most distract themselves. Most numb the calling with noise, routine, and excuses. But a few, a very few, remain. They remain uncomfortable. They remain attentive. They remain listening. And this is how life separates the man who drifts from the man who decides. If you feel that these words are not new, but familiar, if something in you recognizes what is being said, then consider this possibility with seriousness. Perhaps you are not starting something. Perhaps you are remembering who you were always called to become. Before we continue, write in the comments which part of the world you are watching from and leave one word in the channel. This simple act is a silent way of saying, I am present. And now, with that presence claimed, observe closely what comes next. Because from here on, nothing is said by chance. You've come this far because something inside you no longer accepts living on autopilot. It isn't rebellion. It is maturity. There is a point in every man's journey where the soul grows tired of improvising and begins to demand direction. And when that happens, life begins to test one specific thing: your capacity to decide. Look closely. Most men do not fail due to a lack of talent, opportunity, or intelligence. They fail because they never decided definitively. They live in a state of permanent rehearsal. They want to move forward, but they keep a door open for retreat. They desire to prosper, but they preserve the comfort of an excuse. They dream of abundance, but they negotiate with fear every single day. And the law is clear: a divided mind builds nothing lasting. Look at nature. A river does not ask the rock for permission. It does not debate. It does not hesitate. It does not change its mind at every obstacle. It simply knows where it is going. And exactly because of that, over time, it cuts through mountains. Not by momentary force, but by directed constancy. The river wins because it does not scatter. The man who decides functions the same way. When the decision is real, the world begins to reorganize itself. People appear. Paths reveal themselves. Resources emerge where before there was a void. Not because the universe is magic, but because it responds to clarity. Indecision generates noise. Decision generates order. Consider Edwin C. Barnes. He didn't just wish to work with Thomas Edison. He decided. That decision was so absolute that Barnes adjusted his entire identity to it. There was no backup plan. There was no comfortable return. He didn't ask, "What if it doesn't work?" He asked, "What must I become to make this work?" That question changes everything. Henry Ford faced something similar when insisting on the V8 engine. Experts said it was impossible. Engineers laughed. Investors doubted. Ford did not argue. He held the decision. He simply said, "Make it work." Months passed without results. Then years. But the decision was not renegotiated. And when the mind stops negotiating with doubt, it begins to command matter. The majority looks at these examples and calls it luck. The wise call it law. The man who drifts reacts to the world. The man who is decided organizes it. One waits for confidence to act. The other acts until confidence becomes inevitable. One asks if he is ready. The other understands that readiness is built on the way. Ask yourself, with brutal honesty, in what area of your life are you still negotiating with indecision? Where do you keep strong desires, but weak decisions? Because know this: as long as the decision is not final. The mind will remain scattered. Energy will remain fragmented. And results will remain inconsistent. Think carefully about this. Life does not respond to momentary intensity. It responds to sustained commitment. There is a profound difference between wanting and deciding. Wanting is emotional. Deciding is structural. Wanting is born and dies with the mood of the day. A decision reorganizes habits, choices, environments, and priorities. The man who decides pays the price before seeing the result. And exactly because of that, he harvests later. Repeat silently, not as a wish, but as an affirmation. I know what I want, and I am willing to pay the price. Feel the weight of that phrase. If it still causes discomfort, it's because it's touching an area that demands alignment. And it is precisely this alignment between what you think, what you feel, and what you do that will be put to the test next. Because deciding is only the beginning. Staying whole within the decision is an even greater challenge. Observe what happens when a man decides, but does not align himself internally. That is where many fall, without understanding why. There is a silent conflict that destroys more destinies than any external crisis. It is not a lack of opportunity. It is not the economy. It is not the past. It is internal division. A man thinks one thing, feels another, and acts in a third way, and then wonders why his life does not move forward. The law does not fail. It simply responds to the internal state that governs the man. Observe this deeply. Thought is direction. Emotion is fuel. Action is movement. When these three do not walk together, a man may move, but he does not go anywhere. He spends energy, but builds no progress. He works hard, but lives exhausted. He is busy, but remains empty. Not because effort is missing, but because harmony is absent. Nature, once again, reveals the law. The sun, when scattered, warms only a little, but when concentrated through a lens, it burns through metal. The same energy, the same sun. What changes is the alignment. So it is with the human mind. An aligned mind creates results that seem disproportionate to the effort applied. Consider John D. Rockefeller during the great financial panics. While men screamed, sold out of fear, and lost fortunes in hours, he remained serene. Not because he ignored the danger, but because he governed his emotions. He understood something that few comprehend. Ungoverned emotion creates poor decisions. And poor decisions charge high interest. Abraham Lincoln faced losses, political defeats, public humiliations, and a war that could have destroyed any emotionally fragile man. Still, he cultivated internal mastery. Lincoln thought with clarity, felt with depth, but acted with balance. He did not allow external chaos to hijack his internal order. And because of that, he stood tall when others crumbled. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before lighting the world. But observe, he did not think like a defeated man. He did not feel like a failure. And he did not act like someone about to give up. His internal alignment was so solid that every frustrated attempt only refined his conviction. Where others saw error, he saw adjustment. The universe does not reward frantic activity. It rewards harmony. It does not respond to desperation. It responds to coherence. When thought, emotion, and action walk together, something powerful happens. Effort begins to yield more. Time seems to cooperate. Progress accelerates without anxiety. The divided man lives in constant internal negotiation. He promises discipline, but feeds fear. He declares faith, but acts with hesitation. He claims to want more, but behaves like one who accepts less. And life, obedient to the law, delivers exactly that confused mixture of results. Think carefully about this. Where are you misaligned? In what area do you think big, but feel fear? Where do you feel enthusiasm, but act with procrastination? Alignment does not require perfection. It requires honesty. It requires that a man stops lying to himself. Repeat with presence, not as a hope, but as an internal decision. My mind, my emotion, and my action move in a single direction. Feel the difference. When that phrase begins to sound true, something stabilizes inside. And when a man stabilizes internally, he becomes dangerous to mediocrity. Because nothing external can easily divert him anymore. But still, even with decision and alignment, there is one last test. A silent, prolonged, and invisible test. Many pass the first two principles and still fall at the third. Not for lack of capacity, but from premature exhaustion. It is at this point that persistence stops being effort and becomes faith in motion. There is a silent, daunting moment in every great journey when absolutely nothing seems to happen. No external sign of progress. No visible confirmation of success. No immediate response from the world to your hard work. It is exactly here, in this hollow silence, that the majority of men choose to give up. Not because their path is wrong, but because they lack the spiritual depth to understand the law of time. The hurried man, blinded by his own impatience, calls this period failure. But the wise man, the one who truly sees, calls it incubation. Observe nature with profound humility. Consider the bamboo. It spends years growing downward, building an intricate network of deep roots that no one will ever see. During these years, to the untrained eye, it seems stagnant, silent, invisible. But when the internal structure is finally ready, it explodes toward the sky, growing meters in a matter of weeks. This rapid, miraculous growth is only possible because there was a long season of invisible patience before it. Life does not break this pattern for anyone. Not even for you. Remember the story of Darby's uncle. He was just a few feet away from gold. He worked for months in the darkness of the earth, digging, investing every cent he owned, enduring physical exhaustion and mental frustration. But when the result was delayed, he let his heart grow cold and he stopped. Not because the gold wasn't there, but because his faith was too shallow to endure the silence of the mine. 3 feet later, another man found the wealth that was already his. The distance between success and defeat was not a matter of effort. It was a matter of persistence. The law is immutable and ancient. Continuity is the secret of velocity. Each day of quiet persistence accumulates strength. Each coherent action, no matter how small, adds power to the day that came before. True faith is not an emotional outburst. It is a structure. It is built, brick by brick, day after day, even when nothing on the outside changes. Something powerful and permanent is being consolidated within you. Henry Ford understood this silence better than most. He faced years of mockery, public failures, intense discredit, and crushing pressure. The world interpreted his persistence as nothing more than stubbornness. But Ford understood a secret principle. Giving up breaks the momentum of accumulation. Persisting multiplies it. When the V8 engine finally came to life, it wasn't born on that day. It was simply revealed. It had been ready in his mind long before it touched the world. The majority of men wait for signs before they decide to continue. But the elite few continue until the signs become inevitable. One man waits for motivation to strike. The other man sustains the habit like a sacred ritual. One man negotiates with his own exhaustion. The other understands that his temporary tiredness has no authority over his eternal purpose. Observe how the quietest period usually precedes the greatest breakthrough. Before the dawn, the night reaches its deepest darkness. Before the harvest, the earth looks empty and desolate. Before the massive turn, everything feels frustratingly slow. This is not a punishment from the universe. It is a preparation. Life is testing whether you trust the law, or if you are merely a slave to immediate results. Ask yourself with brutal, cold seriousness: are you truly tired? Or are you simply close? Many confuse the weight of exhaustion with a signal to quit, when in fact, that weight is the sign of proximity to the finish line. Giving up seems logical when you measure your worth by what you see today. Persistence sustains itself when you trust what you know to be true. Repeat these words with inner firmness, not as a comfort, but as a blood bond commitment. I am patient, but I am relentless. I trust the law of increase. When this conviction finally takes root in your soul, everything changes. Anxiety begins to fade. Comparison with others loses its power over you. Your focus narrows until it becomes a laser. You stop chasing the result and you begin to obey the process. And the process, when respected, always delivers. But there is still a final stage. A point where success stops being a pursuit and becomes an inevitable consequence. Where you no longer run after life, but life itself begins to trust you. This stage is not about having more things. It is about becoming someone completely different. If you have reached this level of awareness, do not let this flame go out. Subscribe to this channel right now to master your mindset every single day. This is your sanctuary for mental strength. And if you are ready to stop wandering and start activating your true mission for this year, click the link I left in the first comment below. Access the 1-minute prayer and align your spirit with your purpose for 2026. The world belongs to the man who decides. Your time is now.